This banner filled me with so many mixed emotions. Like, I'm glad we're finally getting Lark and the Blue Jacket saga. I feel like it's been forever since this thing came back. And the banner's overall good. Jay's on it, so you know it's instantly a dub. But it is kind of rubbing me the wrong way. We keep pushing back a certain unit. I will be talking about this in a later video. You could definitely tell they're like extending this or buying time till like a certain point that they want, which is more than likely Christmas or even New Year's. And I don't really like that feeling too much. This feels like a unit that should have already came out, if I'm just going to be 100% honest. But today, we're talking about Lark. Lark is finally on Grand Summoners Global, and it has been a long time coming. Like, let me actually look up the exact date that we got this, or we got his animations, and it seems like, by long ago, I mean March 25th, 2024, just to give you an idea of how old Lark is. So does he still got it? Well, Lark, even whenever he came out, was pretty solid, and he was always used in mono fire as just another way to like buff up damage. Of course, we have so many other characters in mono fire now that kind of do a similar thing to Lark, like Shizu for an example, and some people would maybe even prefer using Makoto just for like the overall damage buffs that he gives. If we look at Lark's kit, he's doing something more in line of Shizu than someone like Makoto. As you see, he's able to use his super art to give a massive amount of fire res down, and if the enemy is unafflicted by a status element, he gives even more fire res down. Everything else in the kit is also kind of solid. We got accuracy to the whole team, his own damage buff, we have attack buffs, we have freeze and paralysis res. I do wish that freeze and paralysis and even the attack buff on the art was to everyone and not just himself, to kind of give him a bit more team viability, because just this alone makes it to where he's only this fire res down character, and that's pretty much it. And he has one passive in his kit, this Entei Ryu Swordplay. That is an absolute mouthful, but it gives fire allies 5 arts per second if Lark is the leader for the first 30 seconds of a quest. And that's kind of it when it comes to Lark. There's nothing else going on here. It's not like this is a super complex unit or someone that is revolutionizing the game. Now, I do remember whenever Lark came out in JP, there were a lot of videos that showcased his damage and just how good he was in the mono fire setup. He seemed very potent, but nowadays, with the way how we have all these other characters, not including units that are very similar to him, I don't think his damage numbers are going to be as impressive as they once were. Like, even if we just look at everything Lark's doing, the fact that he has an attack buff and he has all this additional damage up, but he doesn't even have the ratio passive in the kit, is a little concerning to an extent. He's not going to hit nowhere near as hard as some of the more recent units, and he may feel a bit lackluster unless he's buffing up another fire res character. For all my mono fire heads, this might be a consideration possibly. Maybe you would want to pick up Lark and see how he does in the current day meta, but he definitely comes off as a unit that's not needed now. This is another case of the featured character on the banner being nowhere near as good as some of his banner mates. I don't know if you guys have seen this banner. I hinted at this in the very beginning of the video, but this banner is insane, bro. We have units like Jay on here, which is still phenomenal. For all my new peeps out there that see Okarunes running around and stuff, if you want to know who did it first, well, it was Gray, but after Gray, it was Jay. And Jay still can hang with everybody, man. Sure, he may not have the crazy AoE stacking, physical damage, and attack buffs, but he still does a lot for the team, like art gauge for the entire squad. With the art, he has damage res down on the true art, not to mention that super art is a huge damage buff to himself, plus also giving him additional art gauge. I still use him. I love this guy. He's great, and he can still hang with the best of them. If you ever wanted a unit like that, or if you want to try to get Jay, because he is a very sought after unit even now, this wouldn't be a bad bear to go on. Not to mention, you also have a character like 12th generation Mizuki, which I know is an awoken unit, but do not let this fool you. This is probably one of the best awoken units you can get now in the game. 12G has a lot of stuff going for him in his kit, but the main thing is the art gauge on the true art, which is type F art shin, his third eye, and his cleanse. The reason why his third eye is so good, because whenever you activate it, you instantly give everybody on the team 100 arts. This was insanely strong before we had other units come out for like nuking or whatever, because it was like, well, get 12th generation Mizuki into his third eye and then everyone else will get 100 arts. Easy nukes, right? It was a lot simpler times back then, of course. But even if he's not the best at giving new characters tons of arc gauge, this 100 arcs is still nothing to scoff at. I mean, I would take 100 arc gauge any day of the week, you know what I'm saying? And then that art also being able to cleanse everybody and then give everyone stat res, plus if you're in third eye, you give water allies even more damage. The main thing here is just the cleanse though and the stat res. So good, man. I wish this thing had a heal on it. I think that would just make him overall so much better, but it doesn't, so it is what it is. The cleanse and stat res is still very strong on 12th generation Mizuki. So if you just wind up starting with like the Kill a Kill saga, you know, you're a brand new player to the game, this is not a bad banner to roll on to. The fact that you could get an account right now with units like Mako, Hoka, 12th generation Mizuki, Jay, like that's insane, man. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know, I know we just kind of glossed over them and we're kind of already heading into the verdict, but the other two units on this banner aren't too bad either. Like Charlotte is still a really solid damage buffing character. It's giving every element in the game massive amounts of arch damage up. Priscilla is a little bit dated by now, but you can still get away with using her in like fire teams and stuff. So overall, there's not much to like really scoff at with this banner. If you're a player that is missing any character on this banner, highly recommend that you at least do a one and done. There's a lot of value here, and if you're able to luck out and pick up your J or like your 12th generation Mizuki finally, or you have a pretty solid mono fire team, picking up Lark is not too bad, man. He's not a bad character now. It's just you may have someone else that's a bit better in like team situations. As for my vets, you guys probably already know this banner really isn't anything to die for because you more than likely have majority of the units. But if you are interested in Lark or you want to see if you can pick up J finally, hey, don't be afraid to throw that 50 crystals here. I don't think you should go crazy deep on this banner though, because we are getting closer and closer to Christmas, and more than likely we're going to at least get one more banner, not to mention an all-star summon, and everything else should be coming out very soon. I don't know why we haven't got our end of year roadmap yet. We usually get it around this time, so I'm expecting that to be coming out with the next update, and if it doesn't show up then I guess we're just not getting one this year. But you guys let me know down below in the comment section if you're going to be summoning for Lark or if you're going to be skipping out on this guy entirely. Me myself, I'm going to be skipping out. Lark's cool, but I would rather just pick him up on a random banner later on down the line. I don't think he's necessarily worth going super deep for, and I already have all the other units on this banner, so yeah, I don't really have much value here. But for all you guys that are going to be summoning, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you're able to pick up Lark, or you're able to pick up Jay or whoever. And if you do, let me know down in the comment section who you got. But oh, one more thing before y'all leave, don't forget to drink water.